everybody, this is PG and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a short tutorial on how to get started on Euro Truck Simulator 2. I know there's a lot of these out there and there has been a lot of people who have done this in the past, but I just thought I'd do a quick and short tutorial on how to get set up, how to get it sorted, mainly looking at a few little tips around helping out with a low-end system. I spent a lot of time up until like last couple of years playing Euro Truck on quite a low-end system, and it can be a bit challenging to get it going, but I just want to show you a few tips that you can do to make the most of what you've got, even if you are playing on a low end. So obviously we'll start by making our profile first. Get that sorted. Select a picture. Help if we choose the right gender. So, any picture will do on it. There you'll do. Right, so for truck design, I think we are going to go for an MAN. And company logo doesn't really matter too much, but I think we'll go for logo, that'll do. And the logistics. English. Play module in Europe. Yep, everything's fine there. So let's create that. Sorry about the music. I will turn that off as soon as we get out of this start. Just bear with me on that. Okay, so we are now going to choose our city. So we are English. So we're going to go in the north where I'm from, so Sheffield. And yeah, we'll show you the quick walkthrough tutorial for those of you who aren't new to the game. I know this will be a little bit frustrating for those of you who are used to playing Euro Truck, but like I said, this is for people who are new to the game or run a low-end system. So, welcome to Euro Truck Simulator 2. At last you have a chance to experience your dream job, driving a truck. Your own transport company is now open for business, but sadly you lack the money to buy a truck. For now, you'll have to work for other companies as a driver for hire. Your task is to safely deliver a load of concrete beams to KW Log GmbH dock in Manchester. Your employer has provided you with a vehicle and will cover all expenses. Don't let anyone down and arrive on time. So I'm just going to pause the game here, and this is where we're going to do the bit of... Oh, it won't let me. Yeah, there we go. Right, so this is my sort of bit of a tutorial here. So when you first start out, you will have more options than this, but this is what you get while you're on the tutorial. So first off, we're going to go into options. Now, if you want to make the most of your graphics as best you can, leave this as it is. Just 1 second, I'll turn the sound off, just bear with me. Wrong one. There we go. That's what we was after. So, options, and we're going to go into graphics. So, My actual settings are done by my graphics card. I have it set up so that my graphics card overrides all of this. But the main things, and this is going to be very basic for most people, that will affect your performance the most is the scaling. So you have a couple of options. Scaling. Now, bear in mind, each time you go down, the screen will get more pixelated, more fuzzy, more distorted. But this is a really good way to optimize your performance. The next one that really seems to make a difference, and I'm not too sure why, is your mirror quality and mirror distance. These two have quite a big impact on the graphical capabilities of your machine. I don't know why. This is what I've always found. Like, don't take my 100% word on this. Like I said, there's other tutorials out there. There's other people's opinions. This is my opinion. This is what I have found to help me when I have been doing in the past. But mirror quality and mirror distance, these two really do have a big impact on your performance of your machine, and obviously texture quality as well. All of these will have an impact, but the ones I've found make the biggest impact is your scaling, mirror quality, and mirror distance. If you change these, you will find that you'll have a better performance on your computer than if you're on a low-end machine. But that's basically that on that one there. So controls. So for me, I have a Logitech G29 steering wheel, which I use for driving. I also use a Satec side panel, which is actually designed for farming sim, but I use it for Euro Truck as well, because it is good for keeping all your controls in one place, and you're not using all your keyboard, and you can push your keyboard out of the way. You don't really need it. I have it all set up ready so that I can use it for whatever I want to do on there. So I'll quickly go through some of these options. Obviously, my subcontroller is a wheel. Simple automatic. You can have it on simple automatic manual. I will be having it on a H shifter because I do have a gear stick as well. Also, if you don't have a gear stick, you can have it on real automatic, which will allow you to have some control, whether forwards, backwards, so on. Simple automatic is just straightforward, and then sequential. You can actually use that on anything, so on a controller, on a keyboard. Doesn't really make a difference, because you will just up and down the gears like you would on on traditional racing games, like you would have on the PlayStation, for example, where you just press L1, R1 to up and down your your gears. Sorry. So unless you've got a steering wheel, you've got all your force feedback for your steering wheel here. If you've got a steering wheel, you can have a play around with that. You got your acceleration axis. So if you look here, it shows me accelerating there, and then clutch axis there, and brake axis. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, that's showing that as my brake. So acceleration axis should be there, and brake axis should be there. There we go. And that is that set up. So obviously you can look up and down. You can have that set on multiple controllers. So like, for example, I have a Satec which has a little toggle stick, a bit like a joystick. So I could set that up for the Satec, but I'm not going to because I prefer to use the mouse. But you can do if you want to. So H shifter, I like mine on a splitter, and then I will set all this up properly later. But you have all your shifter positions. You can set it exactly where you want it. This depends on how you want it set up. Depends what kind of stick you've got, and so on. And if you do have an eye tracking camera, which I don't, you can also set up that here. And that is quite straightforward. So gameplay, so in here you can set the background in your garage. So whatever you decide your garage, so if I press this, you'll see it changing the background. You can have it set to whatever you want, however you want it. All little tweaks just to make your game a little bit more enjoyable. You can have fatigue simulator turned on or off. Now, if you're like myself, I don't particularly like driving at night. Personally, it's because I struggle seeing dark screens. I have problems with it. So any dark games, stuff like that, I don't tend to play. But that's just me personally. So I tend to turn fatigue simulator off, just so that I can drive through the day and sleep through the night. You set it however you wish, but typically, if you've got fatigue simulator on, I think you can drive for 8 hours. I think it's 6 or 8 hours, and then it will make you rest. You have to rest. Traffic offences, you can have that on or off. It's up to you. I do find that at the beginning of this game, traffic offences can be brutal. Now, they have done an update on the traffic offence system since I first started playing, so it's not as bad. You get sort of like a reoccurring fine system, so your first fine will be quite low, and then as it goes, the more times you break the law, the higher your fines will get, and so on and so forth. So it's not as brutal as it used to be, but when you're first starting out and you haven't got a lot of money, it can be pretty brutal. Then you've got route advisor, which you can either show truck limit or show the car limit. You're best off keeping it on the show truck limit, just so that you know exactly what you should be doing in a truck. Route advisor speed warning, that's a little toggle that shows up on your sat nav in your truck. It just shows you roughly whether you're going too fast or so on and so forth. Automatic parking dialogue, you can have that activated so that if you don't want to back your trailers in and stuff like that, you can just skip that, press it, and it'll automatically do it. Keep route advisor hidden. You don't really want to do this, especially if you've got a truck that doesn't have a sat nav, so you may have to use the sort of like on-screen sat nav. I don't like using the on-screen sat nav, but when you first start out and you're using other people's trucks, you need to see the sat nav, so you have to have it on. So personally, I would keep that unticked. Heavy cargo warning screen, so if you are new to the game, there is heavy cargo, which you have to follow a convoy and so on and so forth. You would need to, if you've got that on, it just gives you a little warning screen that says you're taking a heavy cargo shipment or so on. So that's basically just for that, nothing really. You can change your sat nav alignment, so it's north lot, so you can have it so that it changes if it's flat or always north. It's completely up to you, that one. Navigation mode, sorry. Show navigation. You can have it set however you want. Again, you have it just for your job, world and job, or always. I don't even know what always means, but I have it set to always. Navigation mode, you can have it as the shortest route, the smallest roads, or the best route. Up to you. Parking difficulty, I always have mine on skill parking personally because I do like the challenge, but you can have it set however you want. You can have it on always easy or random, completely up to you. Random events on the road, now this can cause diversions, accidents, all sorts of things that happen out and about while you're in the world on the road. I quite like this feature. It is a good little feature. It mixes up the gameplay a little bit. It really does sort of like add some elements of realism to it. The only thing that's kind of annoying with it is if you get a road diversion and you're running out of time. That is a bit of a pain, but that's sort of part of the detours thing as well there. So random events and detours is sort of kind of the same thing, but not. So if you get detours, it can be really, really annoying when you're running short of time. Rain probability, I tend to like this turned down a little bit because if you don't, it rains a lot. which is fine. You know, it's fine. And being from the UK, I should know what it's like for it to rain a lot, because it does rain a lot here. But it just sort of ruins the experience a little bit when it's always raining, it's always drab, always miserable. So it is better just sort of to turn that down a bit so it doesn't rain as frequently. You know, you can have it raining as frequently as you like, but I just prefer it down. Time zones, you can have that disabled. It's up to you how you want that set up. Generally, I just keep it as it is, and then it will show you the time zone that you're in as you're travelling across Europe. Show cutscenes, I like that unchecked because there is cutscenes. So, like when you're doing a heavy cargo, it'll show you a little cutscene and all that kind of thing when it's loading your truck up and all that kind of thing. But it's personal preference. I find that a waste of time, but whatever you like. So this section here is all about your truck in general. So obviously transition type, steering. So braking intensity, I tend to keep it around the middle. You can tweak it depending on how sharply you want it to brake. A lot of it depends on your controller and the stuff that you're using, because some things can be a bit more intense than others. Truck and trailer stability, you can up and down these. Basically, the further to the right it is, the more stable your truck will be. Further to the left, the less stable your truck will be. So if you have it all the way to the left and you go around belting it around the corner at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, 80, 90 kilometers an hour, you've got a good chance you're going to tip your truck over, and then it's going to cost you to recover it. So if you like that kind of thing and you want to shell out a lot of money for tipping your truck over, whack it all the way to the left. If you want to be a bit more secure, whack it all the way to the right. If you want it somewhere in the middle, then that's fine. But you will find though that this is you need a bit of fine tuning on this area. Suspension stiffness, again, part of those two. Makes your cabin and the truck wobble about a little bit when you're driving. Personal preference again. Advanced trailer coupling, I always play with that on. You have to line up the fifth wheel with the kingpin. Near enough exactly. If you don't, it will just bounce the truck off, or you'll knock the trailer back, or cause damage. However, it is nice to have that available. I personally like that. I like to have automatic retarder on. I did used to play with it so that I put my retarder on myself, but when you're cruising along, and however, I just like to have it on automatic. Same for automatic engine brake. Personal preference again. You can turn it on, turn it off. It's completely up to you. You can have automatic electric engine start, but I have mine configured so that I have to press individual buttons to start the engine. Automatic parking brake engage, I never have that on, but personal preference again. Air brake simulation, I like that on. So when you've been parked for a while, you will have to sit and warm your truck up to get the brakes to release and get everything running and working again. Really, really nice little feature there. I like realistic fuel consumption on as well. That's pretty much that. And then this is all your camera settings and so on and so forth. I'll let you guys play about with all that kind of thing. Then you've got your regional settings. So, like for me, I have it as English. My region presets I have is United Kingdom because that is where I am from. But you can have it as wherever you want. Doesn't really matter. I tend to play. I tend to play with euros and kilometers. I play with pounds because that is the currency I'm used to, and I always drive with kilometers because you do the majority of your driving in the Europe rather than in the UK. The UK, obviously, at the start, we are going to do some driving in the UK because that is where we've based ourselves, but you sort of get used to driving on the wrong side, if you get what I mean. But like I said, it's better having it set in kilometers. My personal opinion and preference, it's better having it set for kilometers, so then when you're over in Europe, your dashboard's in kilometers and it all registers up properly with the speed signs that are around Europe and what have you, because majority of the map is in Europe. And then obviously you can play about with this, have it set however you like, whether you're from the UK or whether you're from the European continent. It's up to you. Just set it up however you like on that one. And that is pretty much it, really. If you go onto keys and buttons, it's basically just a typical key binding screen. So if you want to change something, you just click on it, press the button you want to link it to. Works for the controllers, anything you've got set up on it. You just click it and do whatever. I'm pretty sure if you know how to play on computer games, you know how to do this. But that's basically your key binding screen. So anyway, I'm going to skip now. I'll be back in, well, it'll be a split second for you. I'm just going to go and set my controllers up and then I'll be back. Okay, so we're back now. I've got that all configured. So we are now going to do the little tutorial just to finish this video off, and then we'll take it from there on. So start the engine, for me it would be Joy 2 button 16, but if you're using a keyboard it would be E, or if you use the controller probably R2. So we're going to turn on the electrics and start the engine. So it wants us to drive the truck a few meters forward and then stop. There we go. There are other camera views available. See which one suits you best. So it'd be 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 1 is interior, 2 is exterior and 3 is up above. And then you've got all the others, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's if you want to change your view or anything like that. Oops, sorry, take it out of gear, I'm rolling. Handbrake on. For different views, then press enter to continue. It's time to state the delivery, so press F1 to look closer. So that's basically just going to show us all sat nav and everything like that. So when the game is paused, you can control route advisor with the mouse. You have a sat nav called a route advisor available at all times. Route advisor displays your current status, helps you with information about your current job and points you where to go. So basically this is the on-screen sat nav I was talking about before. So like this truck has onboard sat nav, some don't. Just for example, the Renault Magnum or the Renault Premium, both do not have an onboard sat-nav. Them trucks do not have an onboard sat-nav. So the only way you will be able to have a sat-nav and basically know where you're going with that truck is either by using the on-screen route advisor, or if you have the onboard, the cabin accessories pack. It's a DLC. I think it's like a couple of quid now. It's not that expensive, a few euros. You can get a little sat nav that will attach to your screen, windscreen. Then that makes it more of a viable truck. But in the early sort of parts of the game, if you don't have this accessories pack, or you can't afford it, you know, if you haven't got it, however, you will have to use the on-screen sat nav. That's something you're going to have to do. There's nothing you can do about that. So let's press continue. That just basically talks you through everything. So you've got your current status, current speed, gear, damage, fuel, fatigue. They're all here. So you've got your current gear, your speed, truck damage, fuel. Your fatigue would be here, but I have it turned off. And then if you have any emails, time and day, money, ETA of when you're going to arrive at your destination. This will change obviously depending on what speed you're going and so on. And then this is your map. You can change it to this is your job. So the cargo you're taking, so we're taking 17-ton beams, going from Manchester to another place in Manchester. So we're expected to arrive by Monday at 16:50. Income will be 1,146, and we have 6 hours and 43 minutes to do the job. It ain't going to take us that long. It's only going to take us a few minutes. So that's that one. This one, I'm pretty sure that's F6, F7. You can use this, but you don't have to. The F keys are shortcut keys too. So this shows you a bit more information on the damage. So you have individual damage for your truck, your trailer, and your cargo. So later on in the game, if you own your own trailers as well as your own truck, if you damage your trailer, it's going to cost you to repair that, as well as if you damage your cargo, you're going to lose money on the cargo. And this is just a brief overview of your messages, and that's pretty much it. Navigation map shows you the current position, blue arrow if you are on a job. It also shows the shortest route to your destination in red, which you can see here with the green arrows. At the bottom of the page there is an estimation of the remaining trip time and distance, and you can cycle through different zoom levels by pressing F5 or the button on the screen. So basically there, and it will change the view of your sat-nav. So let's go to F6, and it's basically just going to give you a lowdown of everything I've just said. This is all you need to know about Route Advisor. You can run this tutorial again at any time by pushing the help button. Unpause the game and continue playing, press F1, which is what we're going to do right now. So we're ready to go. Let's make a start. So I want to get this into high range. Take the handbrake off, and away we go. So if you're playing on a single screen, which I am currently, you might want to keep your little mirror up there in the top left corner. You can go out with your mouse and look around. Depends on the truck you're driving, to be fair. Like this truck, it's pretty good. It's got decent mirrors. They're quite easy to see when you're looking. Oop, we're going the wrong way. Oop, stalled the truck. Aren't I amazing? So yeah. It's sorry, what was I saying then? So when you look at it, it makes it easier to see when you're looking around on this truck, because the mirrors are quite big. Other trucks, they're not as clear in the mirrors, so you may want to keep that up. Or if you don't want to keep turning your head when you're looking around, that's also a, you know, if you, depends on your play style. Me personally, I do like to turn them off. I can reach the F2 key, there we go. F2 to activate them. I do like to turn them off so that they're not on the screen. I prefer to look around myself so that I can see where I'm going. In all fairness, I would love, and I mean love, a track IR, so that then I could just look around with my head, as you would naturally. But unfortunately, I don't have one, so I can't do that at this moment in time. Just sort of got to persevere with using the mouse. So let's get a move on now. We'll get moving. But now, for anybody who is new to the game, like I said, this tutorial, so to speak, is aimed at people who are new, or even looking at playing. Stop really short there. Or even looking at playing ETS 2. This is a really enjoyable game. It's a game if you just want to come home from work, relax, just put a few miles in there. You can just sit back, relax, drive your truck, put some music on with the in-game music player. There is online radio stations, so you can sit back, listen to some music, hit the open road, and it is literally a case of that's it, and you're driving. It is a really relaxing game. I really enjoy it. I put a lot of hours into Euro Truck myself. I think on my Steam account I have somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 hours invested in invested in Euro Truck. so far. I have owned the game since I think 2014, so I have been playing the game for a very long time. It's an amazing game, it really is. I really enjoy it, so anybody who is considering buying it, for the cost of it, it's worth it. If you just hang on, or just if you have Steam, add it to your wish list. It very, very frequently goes on sale on Steam quite a few times a year. It's not really, I can't remember a time when it hasn't been on sale apart from recently. I actually wanted to buy this for my wife because she said that she fancied playing it, but for the first time ever it wasn't on sale. But currently it's £15. It's not a lot, it's not going to break the bank, £15, but it does quite frequently go on sale for about £2 or £3, £5 maybe at the most. I think the last time I did see it on sale, I think it was £3.49 on Steam summer sale last time I looked. So it is an incredibly cheap game. There is loads of content, loads of expansions. It's always getting updates. It gets updates every couple of weeks to a month. The developers are incredibly passionate about the game. They really do care, and they care about the community. So if it is something, if you do like a game that is community driven, ETS 2, it really is a community-based game. Even though it is single player, it is a real community-based game. There is a massive community for ETS 2. There is a massive fan base for it. And like I said, the developers and the fans are usually really committed to the game and everything that goes with it. There's such a massive mod scene for ETS 2. There's loads of mods available, a lot of free mods out there, especially just to enhance the gameplay, to make the gameplay better for you to enjoy. There's so much involved in this game. A lot of people look at it and think, it's just driving, it's just going from A to B in the truck, which the basis of the game is just going A to B in a truck, which it is. I'm not going to lie, that is the basis of the game. But there is so much you can add to it to make it better. You can really add things. There's fun trailers. You can add some ridiculous loads that are stupidly heavy or stupidly oversized, just to have a laugh. If you're a really serious player, then don't add them. You stick to what's in the game. There's plenty of content in the game just for you to enjoy. Sorry, I've got a bit of frog in my throat today. There's plenty of content just in the game for you to enjoy. There's heavy trailers, there's reasonably heavy trailers, what I call heavyweight, but not full-on heavyweight that needs a convoy, because you get wide loads and stuff like that. And then there's normal trailers. You go from box trailers to flatbeds to drop side trailers. There's refrigerator trailers. There's all sorts. You name it, you can take it. There's loads of different cargo types. Look, there's a drop side trailer coming past us right now. There's lots of different types of trailers you can take, and as well as now, which you didn't used to be able to do, you can own all these trailers as well. So if you want to have that trailer, you specifically want to have a curtainsider, your dream is to drive a truck with a curtainsider, you can. If you want to drive a truck with a food tanker, which was added only yesterday in the new patch update of 1.37, or is it 5.7? I can't remember. But anyway, it was only added yesterday. You can do that if you want to just delivering milk for a living. That is your choice. There is so much you can do, and there's so many different trucks, and there's loads of modded trucks out there. I did a review myself on my previous video of the Ford F-Max truck. Absolutely beautiful mod. Three guys, if I'm right, three Turkish guys created the mod. It is a beautiful truck. It has had so much work and compassion put into that truck. It's had so much care and compassion put into that truck. The modders should be proud of it. It is such a good mod. I've been playing with it for 3 or 4 days now. It is a lovely truck. It is so nicely made, and everything just works with it. It's such a good little mod. But this is what I mean by the community has such good passion. It is such a nice community to be a part of. So, you know, even if you're not into trucking, but you're a big community-based person, you know, you want to be involved in something that is community-based, this is a game like that. You know, you might not be into trucks, you might not like it in that kind of thing, you might not be into that kind of thing, but because of the community, it really draws you in. And, you know, like just now, I'm sat here driving this truck, you guys are watching along with me, I'm talking away, you know, just talking to you guys, relaxing, playing the game. You know, it's all part of the whole community aspect kind of thing to me. You know, it just makes it so enjoyable. But anyway, that's enough for me rambling on about that. You know, but you know, like I said, there's just so much to the game. You know, it depends what you're into, what you're looking for in a game. Like with me, it is literally just the driving. I love the driving. I love just to sit back, you know, come home from work, sit back, relax and drive, you know, and just basically put the wind behind you kind of thing. It's weird, don't ask, but it's just an aspect I really enjoy. And it can be really fun. It really can, especially if you make the most of it and just do what you want. As well as that, there is a whole company aspect behind it as well. So, like, we're working for someone else at the moment. But once you get your truck going and you're making money and stuff like that, you can actually... It's got a small truck management aspect to it as well. So you can go in and look... basically buy trucks, buy trailers if you want. I don't know whether the trailers actually make a difference to the AI. No proof of whether it does or not. You can buy them for your AI drivers if you so wish. Your prerogative kind of thing. But you know, like I said, there's a company management aspect to it as well. So you can buy trucks and manage a company at the same time as driving. Completely up to you how you want to play it. You want to be a solo driver and just drive, you do that. You want to be a company manager, you do that. It's completely and utterly your prerogative how you want to play the game. It really is. But like I said, it's loads of fun. Really loads of fun. So we are now in Manchester. I am going to stop rambling. We are nearly at our destination now. Just a few more meters to go. I keep grinding that gearbox in this truck. I'm not used to driving an MEN. On my main account, I usually drive a Scania. But fancy the change. Not driven another truck for a while. I do own most of the trucks in the game, but I don't often drive anything other than my Scania. Just for the fact that I've had the truck... Mounted the curb there. Just for the fact that I've had the truck forever. So I do tend to use it. And here we go, here's the next part of the tutorial. So, approach the entrance to the gate to get... Alright, I missed that one then. Basically, it's telling us to park up. Basically. So, we will do that. We will go in here and we will park up. So there is different ways of doing this. You do it however you find easiest. I know with a keyboard and mouse this can be a little bit complex, shall we say. Some people are really, really good at it, but others not so much like myself. I'm not very good at driving with a keyboard and mouse. You can look out the window and do it this way if you want. It's your prerogative how you want to do it. It is nice the fact that you can do it in so many different ways. I do tend to just use both mirrors, but most of the time when I'm playing and not recording, I have it set up on a 3-screen display. So I have a full 180 view around the cab, and that is that. All done. Turn the truck off. Oop, wrong one. There's a little MAN that we have been driving. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this kind of tutorial. For anybody who found it interesting, don't forget to leave a like, and please subscribe if you do like the channel. Yeah, so thank you for everybody, and happy trucking. See you later.